What's going on, good people? We are back. Another episode, Summing Up with the Sumners.
Hey,
I'm Damon.
And I'm Kitsway.
My amazing, beautiful wife right here beside me in these streets. We're excited. Listen, we're going to jump right into it. We're not wasting a lot of time today. This is part 2. Top 10 things we wish you knew before being in a relationship. Last time we got a chance to talk about 5. We're going to bring you another 5 here. But before we do that, we want to, again, just continue. And we mean it every time. I say that too, but we mean it every time to support.
Every time.
We just appreciate it. We just appreciate it. We're just out here in a little kid's bedroom with unicorns all around us, talking hopefully to y'all. Hopefully it's bringing value. So we just appreciate y'all listening and rocking with us. Yeah. So people have been rating and reviewing. We appreciate that. We got a review this week to shout out.
Yes, we do. So it says, looking so crazy in... ...
Probably love. Give me some love.
It is love. Looking good. Got me looking so crazy right now. That's what I thought Beyonce. So shout out to that. I guess you would need to be a fan. I'm not for sure. But David and Katoya are so down to earth and funny. I've been following them on social media for a while and love reading their stories about their relationship and beautiful family. But it's nice to be able to listen to how it all began and know every relationship has the good, the bad, the ugly. But it can survive it with a lot of hard work and love. These two have been together for a long time. It's inspiring. And if you're in a new relationship or been with your boo forever, or maybe you're looking for love,
come on,
this podcast is for you.
All right.
I look forward to hearing more. That was from AMBZ 85.
Come on now.
I mean, I feel like someone would think that we paid her to write that.
Appreciate you,
That's
AMBZ.
how good that was with those 5 stars.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
5 stars. Listen, 30 seconds. Rate and review if you're feeling frisky. We appreciate that for sure.
I mean, my day has been lifted from reading that review.
All time.
So if you just want to bring some of that energy back.
We'll take it. We'll take that.
We will take that. But thank you so much. I mean, I feel like if I had it, seriously, it's perfect.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like, it does take hard work, all right? No one's saying this is rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns.
Oh!
Like this room we're sitting in.
Right now. Not at all. Not at all.
No, but it can be, and it can also be dirt, muddy, and
we're going to talk a little bit
grime.
about that. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
It's true. Sure. But that's what you got, and that means a lot.
Right there. Definitely.
Right.
As well, continue to check us out subscribe on YouTube for full episodes in video format.
Yeah.
And also, last week we started it, and we're back again, just telling you about the private Facebook group, Summing Up with the Sumners Facebook group. Check that out. We're having some fun over there. Continue to jump into that community. Yeah. And last but not least, of course, Patreon. Patreon, excited about that. We're going to be dropping some new bonus episodes this month, so you want to jump in and let us talk about a few other things with you. But we want to shout out a few people. So we've got a few people on the bandwagon. We want to shout out Candy Fudge. That's old school.
That's high school.
That's high school. Man. Appreciate you, Candy Fudge. My man Jeremy Pencil, Miranda Stevens, my homie Jonathan Glasgow, Hannah Richardson, Sarah, we know who you are. The Millennial Jones family. Whole family jumped on the bandwagon. Appreciate that. My man Ben Shrimp, Abby the homie, and our good friends holding it down in the TX, DeAndre, and of course, Alicia.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hutchinson's in the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all so much for that support. I mean, literally, we're coming in being able to tell you how many people are rocking with us. So we appreciate you no matter where you're rocking.
No matter.
Because literally there's all kind of things. And as always, if any of that gets confusing, just hit the link in the bio on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can see all of that information of how to get connected and stay in tune with more content from the Sumners. So
let's do it.
We love it.
Let's get into it.
Yep.
Top 10 things, part 2. We're going to jump right into it here. We're going to jump right into it. Off top here, listen, this is what I'm excited to start with just because it's a reality. I had a conversation with a homie a few weeks ago via Zoom, of course. And he was talking about fights and just how they are a different level while being married. So one thing that I wish I knew before being in a relationship was just how intense the fights can get.
I can.
Now, let me just start by here. If you've been rocking with us, you already know that Katori and I came from different relationships. Different family backgrounds in regards to verbs. Verbal, not verbs. She uses verbs. I don't use verbs.
My fights are with nouns and adjectives.
That's it. I'm gonna hit you with these adverbs, homie. Say something. Conjunctions in here. Schoolhouse Rock. What's up? But that's how intense they can get because I came from a family where we weren't really using words, both positive and deconstructive. Katoya, they use a good
Nothing
number of
but
words.
words.
But I'm just gonna speak for myself. Start off. The fights in relationships, they can get intense, unlike any other, because they are attached to the person who's closest to the heartstrings. Like just when
cut you deep.
They cut you deep. You can just get so personal so fast.
So fast.
And Katoya and I, listen, 15 years, we've been in this thing for a while. And I do know, and I feel like we have done a really good job of not only growing in conflict, but we haven't had a ton of huge fights. We've had our fair share, 15 years, but we haven't had a ton. Like when I hear some couples talk about, we fight every day, all the time, we just fight and argue. I'm just like,
I don't have the energy to be doing that much fighting. Now, listen, fight. It's like when the kids are like, you gonna give me a whooping. First of all, I'm never giving you a whooping. All right, I don't think we understand what a whooping is, and I ain't gave you that. Did I tap you a couple times? Sure. Did that make you feel some type of way? Sure, but it wasn't a whooping. So I say that to say, like, fights got magnitudes, right? Now, granted, we're tiffing, having brush shoulders, frustrated in moments.
We don't record without a little brush up.
Every single time we hit play, it is not because we've been smiling. It's actually really impressive that we can sit like this. I think we need the backlog of what it looked like trying to get ready for these podcasts, because it just be like, it'd be a little attitude-y. It'd be one thing that's always started something, and we just push through. Because we are here for you guys.
I'm going to tell you right now.
But I wouldn't consider that a fight, right? So I think there's a way to like categorize what's happening. But no, I would say we haven't had a big fight. I mean, this morning, the room didn't smell good. Y'all know we just moved, so our house is really wild right now. We can walk. And that's
about it. And sleep. We can walk and sleep and eat now.
And there's things along the walls, we're working. Yeah. But there was some trash in the room, and it smelled so bad, and I kept smelling. Scents is my number one smell. I mean, we had a podcast on what's your best sense and how does that affect your relationship. Scents would be mine, and I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, are you farting in this room? Because something is going on. First of all, David's not even really the past gasser person in the relationship. I'll just say that, but I was like, something is going on in this room, and so I was searching around, and then I found a bag of trash that must have had some food in it, and I was like, oh, this is where it's coming from. But Damon's still saying he didn't smell something. So I decided that I was going to make sure that he got a whiff of this, because it perplexed me that he had no idea the smell. I knew it was wrong. I knew what I was about to do was not going to go well. But I was like, there's just no way you're going to keep sitting in here saying you don't smell nothing. So I politely grabbed the bag, just kind of woof, so that he could get some of that.
Woof. Where was the wolf? She put the bag by my face. I'm on the bed minding my business. Listen to a business podcast to get our family together.
Whew.
And she come out of nowhere with a dumpster trash bag and puts it by my face. I'm laying down. My feet are together. My toes are twinkling. And she come out of nowhere and just put it right by my face.
I just thought he should be in there with me.
And I was not happy.
He was not happy.
I was not happy.
And I knew it, right? That's something that would really frustrate Damon, right? Like anything like that. And that sounds small, but he really doesn't get frustrated about tons. But there are certain little pins to push, and I knew he wasn't going to like that one. And his whole demeanor was like, girl, if you ever. In a sense, right? But he didn't even say that, because he's just so loving.
And we still wouldn't consider this a fight.
It wasn't a fight, but it just caused a rift.
Friction.
It caused a rift.
Friction.
But I knew that it would, and I kind of wanted it to, because I was just that frustrated with smelling the smell that he just had no idea that was happening. But I say that to say that there's levels. You know the things that are going to start the tiff, but things that you wish you knew in a relationship is that there is going to be small moments, medium, large fights. But I do think that the way that we choose to go about these arguments, whatever, plays it, right? Like, for instance, if I'm always willing to say, well, I just want you to know, and I'm just going to whiff this in your ear, in your face, even though I know that this is going to piss you off. Right? You don't intentionally want to piss anybody off.
Nah.
Right?
They
so it's all about the way you go into it, which is going to determine if these fights are going to escalate or just stay, in tension or whatever.
I think a lot of fights, if you look back and you think about your relationship, however long you've been together, some of the fights are you think like, what are we fighting about? And it's usually something small, but it blew up.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about people who know your ins and outs. Last week we talked about the flaws, right? That we expose. We can get to the heart faster than your BFF because they don't live with you. They don't see you every day. And so it's just like, can you just think of one of our biggest fights we've ever had? Just off the top. Just off the dome. Right, because they can get high and mighty off the top.
What you got one, don't you?
I got 12. What you just off the top?
I just think about that one. I think it started with ants, right? With the ants and that, like something was sweet in that laundry basket. I was in the kitchen cutting. You still don't remember this one. I just remember being like, I just wanted to cut you with that knife. I remember cutting something.
You were cutting something that was ants.
Yeah, it was.
Are y'all listening to this? Are y'all listening to this?
I don't know what it was. It was something about those darn ants in that laundry bag. Somebody must have had something sweet.
We had a miscommunication.
I just can't remember the details. I just don't think.
But tell them again about the details you do remember.
Felt so mad that I was
she said,
I'm just cutting. I'm like, you though, you deserve a nice slice. It's not like you like just trying to prove a point so bad, and like somebody is just not understanding that. That really bothers me. Because I'm like, but wait, I have processed this in my mind, flipped it around, reversed it, and it should be clear. Put the game down,
flip it, and reverse it.
And you are disagreeing with me. And that is perplexing.
Is there not something about knowing that you feel very confident that you're right, and the other person like, I'm just not going to believe you. I'm just not going to agree with what you're saying. And that's usually where I go. And we could talk about this. That was the first one that came to your mind, that you wanted to cut me with a knife.
Yeah, that was one of them.
And I didn't realize you had the knife.
No, you didn't realize what I wanted to do with it.
Oh,
I'm certain.
I thought we was having snacks.
Let's just say I would never do that.
You threw laundry one time. Maybe you threw that laundry at me. You were upset about that. She threw a whole laundry, just a bunch of clothes in my face.
What'd you say? What, you trying to tell me to put clothes up or something?
No, I think we were living life. You were doing laundry, had clothes, got so frustrated. Right? You just threw just in my face. I'll never forget that.
That sounds like that would be such a good release of frustration.
And I would we were on, mission was like 1. So we were still fresh into marriage. And I was like, I have never been disrespected. I do declare. and it
probably just felt so good to me. I'm not even that angry.
We could get.
Why is it me? What you done? I
haven't done anything.
Which is exactly how our arguments go, y'all. I get a little loud. I get a little frustrated. And Damon, and I literally have been in an argument saying, just because you're calm and more contained does not make you better or right in this scenario. Let's just say that, because it's full of pride. It's full. It's full of condescending behavior. You know what I'm saying? So just because I'm getting a little bit louder and I'm getting more passionate, actually, I'd like to say that I'm just a passionate person.
She's talking to somebody. She's talking to you.
Okay? So don't, just because you calm and not as passionate doesn't mean that you're right.
That's
anyway, sorry, this got about
it's
a lot of personal
This
things.
is honest. This is where we're at. I think, though, the biggest one, probably top 2, is the honk. I think I may have shared this already. We don't go get to the full details. The honk.
It's still me, though.
No, it was me. I honked the horn.
Yeah, but it's my reaction.
Yes.
What is one of your reaction scenarios?
Hold on, just to be clear, because they're like, what are they talking about now if this is the top 2? Long story short, she's 9 months.
Go back and listen to the podcast.
She's 9 months pregnant. I don't have time for that. I'm in traffic.
I was pregnant?
You were 9 months pregnant. If we're going to like a Christmas Eve church service, it's a beautiful
Easter.
day.
It was Easter in Texas. Is that what
sure.
you're saying?
No. This was 3530 Henderson Reserve. And so we don't live there anymore. You can have that address. And so anyway, you come out after I honked the horn twice. Now, if you don't know a lot about Couture, it's important to know she doesn't like to be honked at. And you came out and you were just like, I'm finna unload the clip on this young fella right here. Just unload it. And I just thought a honk was like, hey, I'm out here. hey, boo. I love you. I'm waiting. But you took that as, you trash. And so you came out. We got into this big argument. I turned around because you're like, I don't want to go with you. I turned around. 10 minutes later, you're like, you know what? No, you ain't going to mess my day up. Turn back around. So we turn around again on the highway and go to church. We sit different places in the church building. A friend comes down the stairs like, hey, where's Katoya? I lie in church and say, oh, she's sick. You come downstairs. She like, what? He was like, he a liar. And so that was a bit, because I didn't know what to say. Where's Katoya? I don't know. We had a huge fight. She's pregnant over there in the corner by herself.
Rude. Pregnant. And treating pregnant women like
so that was arguably our top 2.
The mother of your first child.
Top 2. That's
and
top 2.
And you honk saying, come on.
I was like, hey, babe, I'm ready. Beep, beep. You know, just a love. You know, you pat your boo on the butt. Like, hey,
he used to go out to a car and just kind of be like, I'm sitting here ready. Now, he just sit unready while I'm rushing to get ready, which is just as worse. And then I'm done. He like, oh, okay, now you're done. I'm going to put on my shoes.
Yeah. Everybody's got to have a little balance. Everybody's got to feel a little weight. That's how you make
that
it.
That just happened for this podcast, y'all. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
There are issues to be had. Every day. Is effort to learn to love well with somebody else. And it is not easy. And it can either be small problem or it can be a very large problem. But that is completely up to you and how you choose to respond.
Bonus tip here before we get to the next one here is I think it's helpful. This might come from ANCS. Is to even verbalize, hey, dude, is this a small problem or is this a big problem? So if we both can be on the same page and agree, right? Maybe you have to, and maybe even before you ask that question, take a minute away, come back, and say, hey, babe. Is this a big problem for you, or is
small,
this,
medium,
large? Can we agree on where the level is? Because if we can agree on where the level is, then that can play a part in how we're going to react, how we're going to respond. Right.
But problems are based upon how it feels to the person.
Definitely.
That's one of my favorite things, even as a kid. Hey, this is a small problem, and your reaction is this big. We need to match.
Take that down.
Right. You dropped your crayons.
The bag.
Small problem.
If I had a big reaction to her with the trash bag earlier, right? That would have been disproportionate, right? You know, unless
it's just the smell that I've been smelling the whole time. Okay, but now you smell it and it's offensive because I wanted you to smell it. Could have. I mean, he acted appropriately. I mean, it was rude, and I knew that. But I also was like, "Why your nose don't work?" And I want you to smell this.
It's like when somebody, try to slap you on the butt, and it's like I'm not in the mood for foreplay right now. It's like you just took me. It was jarring. It was jarring. If you're watching video, you caught that. If you're listening, you missed it. All right, before we get into some more real quick, of course, we got to shout out our sponsor for the podcast this week. Again, it's the wonderful Cultivate Real Estate. Adrian and her crew, they've got a home buyers education class coming up November 19th. I'm talking to you, Atlanta. So if you're interested, you can listen and learn from a trusted lender, answer any questions they may have. Hit them up. It's coming up November 19th.
Yep. And you can head over to their Instagram at Cultivate Real Estate and click on the Eventbrite link in the bio. Or you can slide in their DMs because they do like that. If you have any questions, you can also go directly to the event link at atlhomebuyersclass.eventbrite.com. All right? Go. Take it to the next step. We're talking about take relationships to the next step. Take your home life to the next step. At least learn about it. So check them out to learn more. All right.
Let's do it.
So moving into our next thing you wish you knew would be that kids change the dynamic. I mean, it's almost like comical to say, of course you know that, right? But how do you know that? What do you think is going to change in the dynamic when kids come, right? Like, they will. I mean...
And we ain't talking just all bad. We're talking just holistically, they are going to play a significant role.
It's like, oh, me and you,
baby.
Yeah, it's just us.
Baby girl.
Or you like, it's just me and you together. Yeah, we love it, just the two of us.
Yes.
Just the two of us. And then it's the three of you. And then it's the four of you. And then it's the five. And each person has at least a minimum of $1,000.
Somebody's got to go see
the
doctor.
A month needed to survive.
So we're only going to do so many and then.
To whatever the baseline is of you and your spouse, add $1,000 more for each person, okay? I'm just saying. That's just kind of baseline of what you need for children. But they add joy, right? Let's talk about the positive. Kids are going to add
so much
joy. They're going to make you...
We could do a whole episode on that if we wanted to.
And I can't wait to, because like Damon keeps making us talk about relationships primarily, and I just really want to talk about kids a lot.
We know about
David is forcing my hand. No, but no, kids, they do, and yeah, they add a lot of joy. They they not give purpose and meaning, but they definitely readjust, a family's focus, or and the amount of like love you feel when you're looking at them. So there's definitely a dynamic shift when kids come into the mix, which means it's up to you, right? I know people who have been married for 5 to 10 years and still don't have a child. And some of that's by choice for some of them, and then others are, it could be difficult, but it's your choice whether how soon you want to bring them in, or it cannot be your choice and you can mess up a little bit and then bam.
Ooh, surprise.
That's kind of what happened to us, but it was the best surprise ever, right? So it's just, pace yourself accordingly for when those children come into the relationship that you have established, right? You want to try to get as much time in, but whether if you know each other or not, when those kids come in, it's flipping it up a little bit.
Yeah, and one kid is not really, I'm not fazed by one kid. One kid didn't really do much for me, in a sense. You just brought that kid along. He or she slept over there. All right, you fed them. We were still hanging out in the streets. My best friend. We were rolling. Mission was sleeping. It was breezy. He was in China with us. We was like, what? One kid.
Walking fast.
You throw in 2 kids. To go. You throw in 3 kids. The dynamic definitely changes of how you have to orchestrate time, planning, events, savings, things of the nature. And again, these aren't negatives. These aren't cons.
They aren't. My face did look negative, but they aren't. No, but they definitely take work, right? Especially the more you bring them in. It's you have like planning, scheduling, organization, and systems aren't your strong suit, then you'll definitely, I think, should do what we talked about last time, observing other couples and doing some other things like that to kind of help create some systems and stuff, because it can become overwhelming. I mean, it's going to come overwhelming even if you're the most anal person, but still, because you also want to create flexibility for children.
What's not overwhelming? Jobs, work.
It's true.
What ain't overwhelming?
Yeah.
That's the knock on kids. People try to destroy kids because they can't talk back. I'm gonna speak up for kids as a kid apologist.
Yeah.
Listen,
everything. Apologist.
That's what it is out here. Kids are as breezy as you want them to be because they just want to eat, sleep, and poop.
Yeah, and play.
They
want to play.
Keep it simple. Here.
They do want to.
But it's not a game though.
No, it ain't. So they changed the dynamic. So bring them in when you're ready, or if you weren't ready and you brought them in, just take a deep breath and tackle the love. And appropriately, and do it together. There's moments we just would sit and be like, whoa, this little human is sucking up all of our time and energy. So we have to kind of proportion that appropriately. But the truth is, you only have 24 hours in a day, and you sleep for about 6 to 8 of them, and then you're on social media probably for about 2 of them, and you're working for the other 8. So you have about 3 hours.
The kid math, life math is crazy, yo.
Woo! All right.
Life math is crazy.
I'm just saying, so time doesn't expand. Only what you do and do not do is going to create the space, to love well. Yeah. As you accumulate, as your family grows.
Boom. There it is. Yep. Next up on the list here. Listen, it's not always going to be exciting. Top 10 things we wish we knew before being in a relationship is not always going to be exciting. Can I get a yes, yes?
Yes, yes.
Woo! And that's just the reality of it. Coming in for a lot of people, you're talking about the butterflies, the dates,
what
I'm saying? A little spontaneity.
And
can't
wait.
That stays, and you got to fight for that for the entirety of your relationship, for the entirety of your marriage, right? That heat, that passion, all that. Or just the chillness, right? Then you just got to be able to just to chill and the freedom just to kick back, right? All of that. But when life continues to wear down on you, and I ain't talking about just marriage. In general, if you're putting in exclusive time with another person, life takes a toll on you, and you're just trying to make it as a person. If you're listening to a pandemic, or if you're listening to a post-pandemic, bless your soul, it just wears down. And so it's not always going to be exciting. It's not always going to be, rose petals, candlelight. Sometimes it's opening up bills together, right? Sometimes it's knocking out putting some music on and knocking out 2 hours of Saturday morning chores together, right? Whatever the case may be. But it's not always going to be exciting.
No. I mean, and that, I think that, yeah. So you're not let down, right?
No.
Because it's not a bad thing that's not always exciting.
No.
I mean, you are talking about 2 people who really enjoy having a good time.
We do.
So it's like, man, this isn't exciting, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's stale. Right. It just means right now, this is what it is, right? But if you're constantly fighting in your relationship and in your marriage or whatever you're in, then it's gonna come out of that moment, because just like the way we sat there and looked and was like, this kid sucking up all our time, we'll be like, whoa, I miss you, and a lot of this is taking up our time together, and we need to get back to figure out what we can do to kind of spark.
Yeah, and I think understanding that it's not always going to be exciting is important, because when those moments come, there's at least a mentality, right, and a perspective,
right?
And I think there's two pieces of it, in the sense of one where it's like that shoulder to shoulder. We talk more about that another time as well, where you're just like getting things done. People are working, things are happening. Somebody was traveling in the old world for work. Whatever the case may be, life is just going. You got kids, things are moving here. And then there's another time when things aren't exciting, when you're more like in a rut and spats are happening more. There's more tension, there's more conflict. So I think those are two different pieces of the same puzzle.
Right.
But trying to take it one day at a time. Really, if I'm honest, 1 hour at a time. Because an hour ago, when that trash bag was by my face. All right. But now I'm feeling much better. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm feeling much better.
It smells
my shoulder again.
Around.
And so, yeah, I think that's just important to understand that, because when they come, they're going to come. And then when you're in that bliss, or when you got the passion pop, you got the Luther Vandross going, right, you can enjoy and maximize those moments as well.
That's your best person.
Who don't love Luther? What you want? What you want me to say? Pretty Ricky? What you want me to say? I'm 34. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I don't know.
Anyway.
Lil Uzi? Lil Uzi Vert? I don't know.
Stop. Is that
don't
high? Date yourself.
I'm 34.
Don't date it. Don't date it.
I shop at H&M online.
Anyway, yep, it's true. It is not going to always be exciting. And I guess this is last but not least, huh?
No, got two more. Yep. Marriage isn't at the end. It's really the beginning of something new.
Y'all know me. This is High School Musical. This is the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Yeah. Okay, first of all, that we could do that needs to be a bonus episode where we give y'all some of our favorite High School Musical hits, because
they ain't ready.
It is true that I brought Damon into the fold of making sure that we watched that. You ain't
gonna talk about me. Just talk about yourself.
But you were mouthing all the words. If you didn't see it, he was. Anyway, it is the start of something new. Marriage is not the end. I think a lot of times when you do get in a relationship, you're trying to make it to see. Many are saying, marriage, all right, we did it. But it's not that we did it. It's we did it and we continue, right? Like, there's far more work to do, because now you're all up in my space all the time. We're living in the same space. Maybe you were before, whatever. But then now, maybe you're sharing more bills. We didn't say this, but you're married into someone else's family. Like, I mean, there's so much more joining, connecting. So, it just starts a new stage. So, if you're thinking that marriage is like, the end goal, it's only the tip to the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's the iceberg, right? Just so much underneath. You get that, you get people blowing bubbles and throwing stuff out, and you walk down the aisle.
Sparklers, you just spend a couple $1,000.
Yeah, boom, you hit the honeymoon. Too much. Don't do it. Ooh, that's a whole nother episode for another day, for sure.
Boy, the way these weddings are costing.
Ooh, that's got. Don't let us forget. Don't let us forget to talk about that. But anywho, and then you get home from the honeymoon, and it's just like, hey, every day.
Oh,
here we go.
That's what you do?
And so,
that's how this works? This how that feels?
And so it's the start really of something new, something beautiful, something exciting, to be able to have somebody that you're like, yo, you my road dog. We in this together, right? Peanut butter jelly. Let's get into this thing. And we go and we take this journey and this adventure together, right? There's a beautiful thing about this oneness. And so really the mindset, right, of just like, yo, let's just get married. Let's just get to the wedding. Let's just, whatever the case may be for you, right? That's not the end. It's really the beginning of this whole different journey, new chapter, whole new book series. And it's something to like
nice way to see it.
To really to take it on.
Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. Yeah, it's the start. So while it might be the pinnacle of the dating relationship stage, you may feel, then it now starts this new chapter. And last but not least is, we know we are speaking to a little bit of everybody, but the truth is, of the top 10 things I wish I knew before being in a relationship, is that you just got to water your own grass. You need to be content where you are.
Come on.
So in any stage, we're always looking for the next, right? There's nothing wrong with setting goals. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. So if you're single right now, you might be wanting a relationship, but you might not have it right now, so you enjoy being single. If you're in a relationship right now, you might be like, yo, when we going to get married? But you ain't married right now, so just enjoy your relationship. If you're married right now, you might want some kids. Oh, but you don't have kids right now. Just enjoy being married to your spouse. Oh, I got one kid right now, and I don't really know what
the list goes on.
I might want 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just keep kind of wanting more, but just stay where you are and learn how to be content. The thing about being content is this, like, well, am I like not reaching for more if I'm just being content? Well, that's not really the case. I'm just saying, love where you are. We've been here before. We've talked about this on this podcast. But where you are is a great season to grow, no matter what's happening. So be content in learning and growing in the level that you are. That might be a better way to say it. Like, be content in learning and growing, and not just like being content. I'm not striving for more. Yeah. But, hey, I'm learning how to do this for me. I'm learning how to do this for you. Vice versa.
Yeah, no, I think you're on the head. That was, well said. I think being content with joy. I think being content with joy and not impatience, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I like that.
Being content with joy and not impatience. Well, I went second, so I could kind of.
Oh, you were thinking
verbs, and so there's a level of, again, we're not just talking about if you're single, all the way down if you're about to be an empty nester and you still got 2 teens and you're like once they out, all right, well now the house quiet. Right now, who's doing the trash? You ain't used to take out the trash. Now you gotta take out anyway, right? So just being joyful and just excited to maximize your time wherever you are. Like, that's just wishing you knew before coming into it here. It's just like, man, like, all right, cool. We got no kids. We crushing. All right, we got 1 kid. Cool. We crush wherever you are.
I forgot. Another step is like, oh, I'm ready for y'all to get out of my house. I got kids, and now when is everybody gonna be out of diapers? When am I getting out of, like, you'll look up your kids out of diapers, now you're in kindergarten. Then you look up they're in middle school, you're like, God, dog, now you got an attitude. Then you got to go, oh, gosh, high school, you're lying. Like, whoa, take it slow. Enjoy learning in the moment.
The side note as a parent is when people say, yo, I just can't wait for you to walk. Listen to me. The mobility change for children, if you got kids or you don't have kids, when they have mobility, it's like you can't just sit them there and walk away.
Yep, that's that under 6 month, my least favorite time, but they don't do nothing. But
we're not fans of infants. Yeah. So you leave your anyway. That's just a tangent, because if I leave you, I want you to stay. I turn around, you're gone. So what happened? Your hands in the toilet. I digress.
Yep, too much. That's when they make playpens and
all
darts.
All that thing right there.
Cage you in, child. You're doing too much.
Whole fence for my porch because you might fall down off the steps.
Yep. So it is each thing, each level or tier or whatever you want to call it is going to, pose its own new challenges and
have its own advantages and
it's true. It's true. Enjoy where you're at.
Enjoy where you're at. 10 things you wish you knew before being in a relationship.
Yep. That's it.
We did it. Well done.
Peace out, good folks.
Always continue to please rate and review. We appreciate y'all support. Patreon, Facebook group. It's private. Check it out right there. Yeah. We'll let you in that thing. Of course, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Talk to you soon.